guys, it's the All Beauty Matters podcast. It's your girl, Lom Dom, and I have a very, very, very special guest with me today, aka Sis, her name is Lamika Hall, aka Mika, BKA LahCamillion, rap star. How you doing? Say what's up to the people out there.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I'm just here to introduce myself and let y'all know who LahCamillion is.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit about your background, like how you grew up, things like that.
I grew up once I got bigger. I know that's a joke, y'all. But yeah, I grew up in North Philly with 7 siblings, and it was a little difficult to kind of do what I wanted to do and be noticed with so much going on.
Okay, so like what gravitated you to rapping?
Well, I never was really into like big rap stars. Like people say, you had to grow up on somebody and you had to be influenced by somebody. But it's crazy because I had people that I like to listen to. Like Tupac was a big person that I knew because everybody talked about him. But my older brother was the one that really got me starting to actually want to see what rapping was, because he was like the first one I was around that actually used to start to rap.
Okay. Keeping it as a family affair. So when did you first know that you were actually gifted with the craft?
Well, I didn't ever feel like, it wasn't like something that I noticed right away. It was just something I kind of played around with. But, as I got older, when I was in my early teens, people used to hear me and they used to say I was nice, and I never really thought much about it. But then once I started to get serious, I realized that this is something that I could really, really be good at, and I can kind of go somewhere with it.
Okay, that sounds good. So why do you feel you haven't gotten to the level that you would like to be on yet?
Well, there's many different reasons why people are not where they want to be. Some of those reasons could be, we can hinder ourselves. We could do things to kind of stop our own growth. But I feel like it's various things, partly with me being a young mom, that kind of played a big part. Also, not really having a lot of support and kind of just waiting on others to kind of get me to that next level, instead of just, pushing and motivating and just doing what I needed to do. So I feel like that's a lot has to do with it. And also the fact that today's world, today's society, the way everything is, I might not fit into that whole dynamic, right at this moment. But, I'm going to still push through and do what I need to do.
Okay, and that's all that matters, just pushing through. Now, you said being a young mom, was something that was challenging for your rap career. How many children do you have?
I have a total of 4 children that I'm taking care of, and four children that I raised. And, I was a young mom, so I was a young teen mom, so that definitely kind of took a toll, but it was kind of good and bad. If that makes sense, because being a young mom made me more serious about life. It made me more serious about what I wanted to do, but also it was kind of like, feeling like I wouldn't be accepted, or, I wouldn't be able to do certain things. So I kind of, at one point, stopped pushing myself, because I kind of gave up at a point in time before I actually went back into, rapping again.
Okay. Now, you talk about being accepted. What do you mean by that? Being accepted in what?
A lot of times people do the stereotypes. They, people don't want to mess with you if they feel like you got this going on and you got that going on. People don't want to help you because they might feel like it might not be a good look. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just a matter of somebody really, really seeing your talent and wanting to invest and help you get to that next level. So I kind of understand. I don't really hold anybody responsible. I don't look at people differently because they know what they want. It's just the way the world is designed today.
Okay. Now, are you born and raised in Philadelphia?
Born and raised in Philly, North Philly, heart of Philly. Yes, definitely.
Do you feel that being a part of that environment has helped you or hindered you weight? And if so, in what ways?
Well, definitely. I think it can be more so for me. I think it's always helped me, because when anybody that's familiar with Philly, North Philly, that there's a lot of things that go on that can be a distraction, but it can hinder you if you're mentally weak and get sucked into everything that's going on. But it can cause you to be a great success when you look at your surroundings and realize how bad you want to just have something different for yourself and your life and your family. So it's kind of helped me to push forward to want to do more.
Okay. Now, you were saying that you were rapping for a long time and then you kind of stopped and then you came back to it and then you kind of stopped and came back to it. I want to talk a little bit about that when it comes to that. I want to know what makes you want to go harder now. Has something changed in your life?
I mean, I'm at a point in my life now where, some of the things that I had to worry about then, I don't have to worry about now. Like, I have a little bit of freedom with, not having to go to work right now, which, that used to cut into a lot of my time. And I'm taking this time to kind of focus fully on making music and doing what I need to do to push myself and to be where I need to be. Whereas though before, I may have been dealing with maybe childcare issues or dealing with, working too much and not having that time to put to my music. So now I'm just able to have that time, and I just want to take advantage of it and kind of go hard and do what I need to do.
Okay, that sounds really good. Okay, you definitely always want to take advantage of the time that you have, because time is definitely not promised. I want to know, as an African American woman, do you feel that we African Americans support each other enough?
African Americans in whole, African American women, like, do you think women support women?
I mean as a whole.
Okay, African Americans, I feel like it depends on what part of the world you're in. I feel like you go to some places where they say Philadelphia is a place where people tend to have more hate towards each other. They don't support, and there's always a lot of negativity that come out of places like that. But you may go somewhere else and people might give you nothing but love, and they may be the same race, and you be like, Dad, I didn't grow up around these people, but they show me so much love. So I feel like with that, from where I come from, I would say I don't feel like that's the case. But I don't feel like that, like, as a whole. I feel like it just matters of where you're at.
Location. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, back to the support, since we're on that. Do you feel you get more support from strangers or from family members?
Definitely, I would have to say I've always gotten more support from strangers. It's not the way I wanted it to be, but it's just the way that it happened. I've always had strangers come to me and kind of get excited about my music and come to me and say things, where I might have some family that are not as supportive and they don't push and they don't really have too many positive things to say. Not saying that they're saying anything negative, but I feel like if you're not saying nothing at all and you're not supporting, it's like, that doesn't do a person any good. So I've definitely got, and still to this day, I feel like I get more outside support.
Okay, wow, okay, that's a really good answer. I want to know, do you feel that it's harder, since you said something about female, was I was being specific, do you feel like it's harder for female artists? Why or why not?
To get to the top?
Yes, to make it.
Well, I feel like with women, I feel like it's lower expectations. Like, they don't expect us to do great, they don't expect us to do good, they don't expect us to have talent, so they kind of come at us on a different angle than they would come at a man. Like, a man, they could be less talented and they don't have to try to, sleep up the ladder, and they don't have to try to do this for studio time, and you know what I'm saying. I think we just, in that sense, we get it harder. Now, when you're talking about being a super mainstream artist, I just feel like it's a matter of who they want to push. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it's a matter of we get less exposure. I feel like we still haven't reached the level of getting that respect that we might deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think that is?
I think it's one of those things where the male figure was always started out to be the big rapper. Like, they started out as doing it. They were noticed to be big for rapping first, and I think we kind of came along after them and we started to do it. And it's like, once we start to imitate or do something that they feel like they initially started, they will never allow us that credit to see that we're better or on the same level. To them, we'll always be under them.
Wow. That's a really good answer that you just gave. Now, what can we catch LahCamillion listening to?
What could you catch me listening to? Are you asking me for my favorites, or are you just asking me who?
If I had your phone and I'm going to a playlist, what will pop up?
What would you? Definitely Meek Mills. He's one of my favorite. He's from Philly, and it's not too much bad talent that comes out of Philly. You'll hear some Meek Mills. You'll hear some Drake. I'm definitely a Drake fan. You'll definitely hear some J. Cole. I love him to death. He kind of puts you in a. He's like more to me as a mood rapper. So he kind of puts me in a mood. So
I like that.
I gotta listen to him. Fabulous Jadakiss is one of my favorites of all time. So you'll catch me listen to artists like those.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. Do you listen to any new school rappers?
New school rappers today. If you listen to my music, you'll notice that I do like to make a lot of sense half of the time, most of the time. And a lot of artists today, I feel like they just take the whole art of rapping for granted and what it stands for and what it's supposed to do for people. Music is a symbol of healing. It's a symbol of emotion. It's an outlet. So when you listen to some of these rappers, you don't want to do nothing but nothing. It doesn't motivate you to do anything. It doesn't put you in any type of deep thought. It just is there, and it has no real meaning behind it. So I don't really listen to too many rappers or the ones that are coming out because mentally I just think my ears can't really do a whole lot of that craziness.
Okay, so you said you don't listen to too many. So the small amount that you listen to, could I have a couple of names that you listen to? Throw something at me.
It's really hard. As far as the female rappers, at one point I was listening to Young M.A. because she's very talented. She's in her lane, and she's sticking to what she's comfortable with, and I definitely respect that. I feel like she got a lot of bars. Any other new rappers? I listen to some of the Baby when I have to be in a certain mood though. I can't really listen to the Baby album or anything like that, but he has a couple songs I listen to. Like I said, I have a selective few that I listen to as well as a selective few of songs. So it's just like I might like 2 of his songs, 3 of his songs, and that's kind of how I play it with the newer rappers.
Okay. Okay, well, at least you're giving it a chance. You're
yes.
trying. You're testing the waters, it sounds like.
I'm testing it out to try to see if I can feel it because I do want to stay current with a lot of my style and the way that I come. So, I just kind of listen sometimes. And, sometimes when you see that's what the generation likes, you try to give them some of what they like, but also give them some of what they need as well. So
that's really important. That's really
important. Exactly.
Now, to change gears a little bit, I want to ask you a little bit about, what's going on in the world right now with Black Lives Matter, the movement. What do you think about that? What do you feel about that?
Black Lives Matter has always been something that has been a topic of struggle as far as us getting our point across to those that can actually help to change things. I don't know if we're ever going to win that battle. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I will say to continue to fight because you just never know. We may get change, but it might not be the change that we want, but it's something. And, even if we get that little change, I think it's an accomplishment. And, I just push people forward to, be fair about what they're doing and why. You don't want to just do something because everybody's doing it. You need to have a real passion about supporting Black Lives Matter and why you support it. Don't just be one of those people out there in the mist where you're not a firm believer, but you just want to be a part of something, because it's really for nothing because you're doing it for no real purpose. You're just being a follower. So
do you feel that people are doing that during this movement?
I think some people do it to feel okay. Some people do it so they won't be judged to be a certain way. And there are some people that are sincerely, caring about the movement of the whole Black Lives Matter. So I think it's kind of just mixed with that.
Okay. Now, since we're talking about Black Lives Matter, I have to ask you about COVID.
Okay.
How has that affected your life? What role does that play in your career, if any?
There was, I wanted to start trying to do shows at a time where, COVID hit, and I wanted to kind of get myself more available to the public. So for that, it kind of stopped that part. But it can be good because now you can go on social media more where everybody's stuck to go to social media, so you're more likely to get more views and more people checking you out because everybody's in the house and nobody's really able to go out. So it kind of helped in that area, but it wasn't really too drastic.
Okay.
With my career, what I'm trying to do.
All right. Now, what about politics? Do you get into politics at all?
I don't deal with politics, is what I call it, because that's what it is. It's a pile of tricks, and it's just to distract people. It's just a distraction. Politics is one big distraction. So if you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you'll be sucked in to whatever they're selling. And that's just what it is.
A distraction from what? Elaborate.
A distraction from so many other things that the government and the powers that be are trying to hit us with. There's so many different things that I believe that are going on outside of this COVID or whatever it is that's going on, that they're trying to slip under our noses. And with the COVID, everybody's panicking and everybody's, they can't really think straight. So they hit us and they do some things, and then maybe a year or two down the line, you'll see some other stuff that they've been working this whole time. So I just feel like it's one big distraction, so I don't get involved with it.
Okay, that's a great answer as well. What are your short-term goals and what are your long-term goals? For your career specifically.
For my career, short-term goals. Short-term goals is to definitely try to get up my fan base. That's a short-term goal, to get more followers, to get more people interested in my music, and to just continue to get my face out there. And that's pretty much it. That'll be a big help if I can just get my followers up, my fan base up, and that's it. That's simple.
All right, everybody, it's my favorite part of the podcast where we ask my one special question, and of course, it's about sex. So let's get to it. The question I have today for you, LahCamillion, is: if you're giving head and the guy nuts in your mouth without warning you, what do you do, or what would you do?
First of all, anybody that I've ever dealt with or deal with know my personality and my character, and that wouldn't even be an option. That would definitely have to be something that is talked about prior to, and I don't think anybody is that crazy to not get that okayed before dealing with me. And mind you, you have to be someone super special that I trust a lot to even get that treatment. But yeah, definitely that's something that we have to talk about prior to it happening, because it'll be a problem. Definitely, it'll be a problem.
Well, you heard that. It'll definitely be a problem. All right. All right, so why don't you let everybody out there know where you can be reached? Like, how can they find you?
Well, I'm not giving out my phone numbers, but so I can be reached on Instagram, and you can check me out on my SoundCloud, and that's all the kind of the platforms that I'm on right now. I have a couple songs on Spotify, but as long as you guys keep supporting, hit me with those follows, I'll definitely put more music out and on more platforms, so you'll have access to me. But go follow me on my egg at LahCamillion. That's it. LahCamillion. Follow me on my egg, LahCamillion. But also, before I go, I would like you guys to do me a favor and go follow and subscribe to my little sis that is doing big things, making things happen, giving us an opportunity to be a voice and be heard at Let Them Eat Cake. And go subscribe to her YouTube channel. It's really, really exciting, and she's really going to appreciate people like you supporting. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right, well, you guys heard it here first, so make sure you like and subscribe this video, okay? Because a subscription is free, okay? And thank you so much for LahCamillion for coming out and talking to me. It's been great.